And we should be live. Hello everyone. We are resuming work on the Wildwood Melodies game jam game port. Okay. All right. So last time we managed to have a chameleon character that has an extending tongue. Like the tongue is extending, and normally when it hits the wall, it should stop and go back. You can put a wall manually here, and when it touches, it goes back in. So now what we want to do is actually that when the tongue hits the wall, the chameleon starts moving towards the wall. So instead of retracting inside the chameleon, the chameleon advances and swallows back its tongue, basically. So let's see in the code where the tongue is. So we had that variable tongue distance that increases when I think it's in the top left. It's pretty hard to read probably, but the last line of the debug text here is the tongue distance. When it decreases, we want to move to actually move the chameleon in the direction of the tongue. So let's see. So that's not this. Here, okay. So here we are updating the chameleon, and if we are tonguing, we increase the tongue distance every frame. Perfect, and otherwise we decrease the tongue distance. And here we need to basically move the chameleon, so player pose x plus equal however much we retracted the tongue, right? So we cannot use move towards because we need to know how much we moved. So I guess what I will do is if the tongue distance is bigger or equal or actually bigger than 0, I don't think it can be negative. It's only going in one direction. So if it's bigger than 0, it means that we can calculate a delta of how much it should move. Delta, the delta should be dt times 10, delta time times 10. So it moves 10 pixels at per seconds, basically. Let's make it 30, so it's a little faster, or 40. All right. And then probably we want to cap that delta. Well, you know what we could do? We could say that delta is equal to perhaps delta is always equal to this, and then maximum. So because what I want is not to ever overshoot. So if I run it once, so when I get close to here, I might have less than dt times 40 pixel to travel. And in that case, I don't want to go into the negatives, right? So, so I should take the minimum of either this or hold on. Why is it so hard for me right now? Because it's basically super easy normally. Oh yeah, I need the difference of this, right? Long distance. Oh, okay. I think that's sufficient. So let's say we had only 1 pixel left to travel. dt times 40 might be like 20. It's not the case, but just as an example. And we had only 1 pixel left to travel. Then we want to take the smallest of those values, and then we get the proper delta. Okay, that sounds reasonable. And so we want to decrease long distance by this amount and increase player position by this amount. That makes sense, delta, to me. Let's try it out. So it should automatically compile and hot reload. Check. Normally there is a message. No message. Like that it's hot reloaded. Okay, because we have a compilation error. So what's up with that? I did some changes to the engine just recently. So, okay. Whoops. Build system. Let's disable this for now. See if it works. Hey. Kill the game. So it's building again. So it's failing at the compilation stage. So probably I did a mistake. Okay. All sorted. Forgot. I don't know why these days I often forget the semicolon at the end of the line. I don't think I used to do this mistake, but these days it happens a lot. All right. So the game is running. We can switch to the chameleon and try out our new tongue logic. Normally we should move when the tongue goes back up. Perfect. So of course in the other direction it doesn't work. That kind of makes sense because I hard-coded the direction. So let's fix it. So here we should multiply that delta by the player direction, facing direction. Oh, I shouldn't have stop. Up. Works perfectly. Just one complaint, it's a little bit jittery. Maybe you don't see that on the stream, but how is it? Maybe it's just the fact that it's pixel art. No, actually it's not jittery. It's perfectly fine. All right. And so we should be able to do some cool stuff like, let's pretend there is a platform, like a little, some stairs here, and then at the same height, more or less, a little platform here, and you want to get there. So with a child you can move, the kid you can move like this, then you can turn into a frog, move up the stairs, turn into a chameleon, shoot your tongue, takes a while, should be much faster, and oh, oh we are falling, didn't think about that. Oh, it's hitting something. Huh, strange. It's also hitting in this direction. Is it like a... Did I place some tiles here by mistake? Or... I guess yes. I guess I placed, because I think if I place like, let's say a mushroom manually, I will probably hit them. Yeah, okay. So I should fix that. Where's the collision code? Tongue collision, just next to where we were. I think, yeah. So here we check if the tile ID is not 0. We should check if it is 1. So basically there is only one type of tile at the moment, of solid tile, which is the ground. And all the other tiles are not solid. So if I put some mushrooms, they shouldn't block the tongue. And the ground is ID 1, so if it's 1, we collide. All right. Next up, I would like that so ideally we wouldn't fall when we are moving with the tongue. So if I go up here, should be able to launch my tongue here, grab the wall, and then just go to the wall without falling. So I should disable basically gravity as we are when we are tonguing, or when the tongue is out. So let's check where the gravity takes place. It's just here. Perfect. And let's make sure that we don't apply gravity when we are a chameleon. So basically we can just check our character mode, and if we are not a chameleon, we apply the gravity and the velocity. Let's do it like that. Okay, so it's already working. Perhaps we could do it so that chameleon, or if our tongue is partially out, right? Tongue distance bigger than 0. And so we should, or is it the opposite? No, if it's 0, okay. So when the tongue is out, we can remove the ground. We are floating. Shit. Okay, let's put a wall up there. All right. Great. So we are floating, and actually when we had the ground sound. When we reach these sides, we should fall. Perfect. Just perfect. And if I go left, I should be able to cross those bridges, or those gaps, I mean. Footsteps sounds. Okay, so we should be able to solve that puzzle then. If I go back to frog form, so we are down, we want to get up there. We can just, I mean, I could I could just easily jump up there. So perhaps I should change the scale of this a little bit. Okay, so like that, I can probably not make it to the other side. Yeah, no. What about if I start here? Because there is a ceiling. I can remove the ceiling. The ceiling was basically the edge of the tile map. Okay, can I make this jump? No, that's perfect. Then the puzzle can be, or the puzzle can be that you have to turn into a chameleon to throw your tongue and cross the gap. All right, that's not too bad. So I'll speed up the tongue movement by a lot. I think at least twice as fast, if not more. Yeah, better. One thing to note is we are not doing collision. We are. Interesting. So we are moving like forcefully here. We just increment the position. But it seems that the collision code manages to put us to put us back out of the solid wall that I create. Like if I put a wall here. Not sure why. Probably. Right, probably the limits are. Yeah, okay. Actually, it's the correct way to do it then. The limits, the collision from the tile map are determined before we actually move. So that's why it works. Okay, next up. I think the sounds would be great to add, and then we will have a satisfying chameleon already. So I'll go and where is my okay. That's the original, and then what we want is assets, audio, chameleon, and then we have some tongue noises that we can use. So copying all of this, and we are in my engine. We are in assets, wildwood melodies, sound source. Okay. So I'm just pasting some or copying over some WAV files. Those. Let's listen. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Then we need to compress them to OGG, and we do that manually for now. I made a little scripts to do that. So let's first get into this folder and then run the script. Compress sounds. The scripts uses FFmpeg to just generate the OGG's files, the Vorbis files. Later on, I want to integrate that to the engine better, so it's automatic, but not done yet, so that will come later. All right, going back to the code. Let's look for some SFX. All right, and we can just copy how it's done here for the chameleon. So that's the name of the first file. We'll start here and call it tongue out. And how many of those do we have? 3. And then also 3 in. Okay. Perhaps we can start with in. Alphabetically, I guess. And we have 3. So we can delete those. 1, 2, 3. And then we have the tongue out. All right. Also 3. Now if I save, I'll have some compilation errors. which makes sense because we don't have those fields in the game asset struct yet. And so we want 3 of in, 3 of out. Just vanilla C arrays. And that should already work. I guess we got a crash. Okay, that's kind of to be expected because I don't do anything special to handle the resizing of the structs. And anyway, we needed to import the OGGs or to load them. All right, so now they should be in memory. We didn't get any error or warning. Means that we can play them. And it's done very simply like this. And so I guess the idea is we play the out sound, the out sound effect when the tongue starts to get out, and then the in when it comes back in. But then what do we play when we hit the wall? We could check the original project. I'll do that probably. Hold on. Right, okay, so let's go here, let's go back here. Maybe let's open the project in Godot. Quit this one so we don't get twice the music. And right, let's try. Okay, I need to get the flutes. Okay, perfect. First try. Okay, so the tongue is quite a bit thicker, and okay. Interesting. Actually, I didn't realize, but the tongue instantly gets to the size, to the full size, basically. Which feels pretty good, so perhaps we should keep that. Perhaps that was a pretty good idea. Yep, okay. And the less powerful sound comes first, so which one is it? I think the out and then the in, which makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so let's integrate some sounds. So we got the chameleon here. The moment is tonguing. So when do we start tonguing here? We can probably play a SFX at this point. Play sounds. Random sounds. Sorry, random. SFX play random. That's it. That's the one. It's local in this project. That's why it doesn't have the engine prefix. And then we pass to it the chameleon SFX out. And then we do need a playing SFX reference. That's because there is some logic to avoid playing twice the same sound playing SFX tone. Yeah, it will avoid picking twice the same sound because this is an array, right? That is randomly used to randomly select one sound. And this function will store whatever was the last playing sound in that, and then use that to pick a sound that is a different sound than before. That should be already enough for some. Oh, I didn't program the pattern yet. So we got the sound, and then of course we don't have the sound for the. It's sticking sometimes. That's kind of weird. Perhaps it's the tongue collision position, like the tip pose. But no, I don't think so. What's even stranger is it doesn't happen at the same. It doesn't always happen, basically. Oh yeah, it's a bit weird. I'll check later. That's okay. What I'm wondering is, should I like instantly open the tongue like in the original? I think that would be probably like it feels quite satisfying in the original. So probably yes, I should. And then of course I should prevent that you can like switch the direction during the tongue movements. What happens if in the original if I attempt to do that? Ah. Perfect. So feeling a bit tired. Okay, so I should move forward. So what should I do first? Perhaps prevent changing facing direction while the tongue is out. I think that would make sense. Tongue distance. So I suppose that the player facing thing is shared. Yeah, it's shared between every type of characters. Maybe I can move that down because we don't really need the facing direction to be up to date here, I don't think. So we can put it in the move section, right? And we can make it so it applies to only the Kid the Frog should apply to the chameleon as well, but only at the instant where we throw out the tongue, which is a kind of weird. Character mode is not chameleon. So if we are not chameleon, we want to update the facing direction, or we are the chameleon, but the tongue is not out, basically. Oh, I forget up. Okay, so now I cannot change the direction while I'm having, like, while the tongue is out, so that's great. Where did it stick? Oh, here, okay. So probably to make it instant, the sticking of the tongue, I can just test the collision in a loop. It's a bit, it's a cheaty way of doing, but so outward, tongue collision. That's what's moving the tongue. So yeah, technically I could just move it very fast, but it will miss. Probably it will miss the. In this case, it worked, but it doesn't manage to go, like, probably the tongue got stuck like here. Probably. So we can see it's. Oh, came back. Interesting. Okay, so here you can see the tongue just went through the obstacle because I was moving it at very large steps, and so it didn't catch that there was an obstacle here. So what we need to do is move it still at reasonable speed, but do it in a loop. So let's say a cell. Don't I have a constant for the width of the cell? Cell tile? Okay, normally I call that a cell, but okay. So if we move tile by tile, we should be good in terms of collision checking, right? Actually, don't we have already a line collision thing? Didn't we program that on stream? Maybe not. Raycast, line cast, something cast. Doesn't look like it. Maybe in the global game jam game. Line cast, ray cast. Doesn't look like it. Never mind. Like, because this would definitely work, but it's not the most efficient. We could just check, like, calculate the points, the end point of the tongue. So I'm thinking. So we could, like, start at the tile coordinates of the player and then move to the next tile on the right or left until we hit a solid tile and then calculate the correct side of the tile, and then we are done. That sounds feasible. But we could also just use the code that we have here and not care. Like basically we only need the tongue collision here, and so we could do that like we could have a loop while true. So while true, we increase the tongue distance and then we test if we are in something solid, basically. So this can go. We test if we are in something solid. And if we are, we exit the loop. Otherwise, we increment the distance again. That should actually work, right? That should already work. We don't have any safety if we never hit something, but we will eventually, since the borders of the map are solid, if I recall. So let's try that. Up, whoops. So now it's instant. Now it's instant and it kind of sort of works. Actually, it works very well, so that's great. I'm a bit suspicious of the sticking. Previously it was sticking on some stuff on the floor. Now that it moves per tile, it probably doesn't anymore. And the fact that it moves per tile is kind of an issue as well, because then the end points can be a little bit inside or a little bit right, because we stop when we are touching, so we should go back, basically. That's a bit weird, but it might fix the right. Now we almost, like, depending on how far we are on a specific tile. Up. Right, here we don't quite hit the tile. But it would be easy to fix. We just need to round the position, the final position. But if we do that, we might as well just use the thing I was saying before with where we just walk tile by tile instead of in screen space. Blocked. What happens if we switch back to another? Just stops, and then when we go back, yeah, it starts again. I figured. So we should make sure that when we are not a chameleon, the tongue is cancelled, basically. So what we can do is say, if we are not a chameleon, tongue distance is 0 and is-tonguing is false. And actually is-tonguing can go. We don't need it anymore, which is pretty sad because it's a good variable name. But we don't use it much. Like if this is instant, we can just move that up there. So let's actually do that. Because I think we'll keep probably the very fast, like instant tongue. Right, so we can put that here. Hit the next wall. That's to go back, right? Okay. So yeah, basically, if the distance is bigger than 0, distance bigger than 0, then we are going back in any case. Maybe we could put it in a else, so we have a one frame of contact with the wall. Can remove that, and then east tonguing is gone. Did it compile? Yes. So when I'm holding right, it stops moving. Interesting. Right or left? Ah, that's because I put everything in this. So it shouldn't be an else. But if I want one frame of contact, I can put that before. Right. So now let's add a melody for the chameleon. A pattern. And again, we'll check what was done in the original game, because we want to keep the same melodies, because the audio design is already done and I don't think it's flexible. So I'll just have to play. Little platforming section. This is super hard. I love this guy. I love this guy. Easter egg! Oh, I went through the tree. I shouldn't have. Alright, so the melody, I had forgotten, but it was toot 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 toot. Okay, melody, pattern. Let's implement this real quick. Should be easy. Wasn't it pattern? Notes, maybe? Check notes? Yeah, check notes. Oops. And so we just add a case here. And toot 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 will be the chameleon. They are easily confused, like they are very close, so we should probably change that. So I'm going to take a small break, make myself a tea, and then resume working on this. I guess the next thing could be, there are many things that I should do, but one thing could be implementing the spikes, maybe, like that when, so there is one tile here that we can place. Perhaps this should kill the player, like it should kill the player definitely, and respawn it where it was before it got killed. So if I jump from here, it should respawn me here. Very forgiving. That could be something. And then perhaps one other thing that we need is to have the animals physically present in the level, so that you can listen to them sing and then try to imitate their singing. But I'll do that after a small break. Up. And maybe I review my screen. I'll just mute myself if I manage. Where is it? I guess. Okay, I'm back. Break server. And I got the key. Hopefully it will give me some energy back. So I was saying I could implement the spikes, which sounds good to me. What we'll want to do is check the collision with them, basically. Okay, so here we clamp the position to resolve collisions. What I'm thinking is, after we moved, before we clamp, we check if we are in a spike. Can even do it after, it doesn't really matter much. But let's do it before, because the spikes are not solid. Only the ground is solid at this point. Check. Spike. Collision. And here we calculate the coordinates of the player. What we can do is just get them again, calculate them again. We can even update them that I used. Anywhere else? Not really. Oh, let's do a new ones. So current card, and if those coordinates, we retrieve the tile ID. If the tile ID is the tile ID of the spikes, then we need to do something. For now, I'll just log or display a message on the screen, editor message. I think it's show. That's a bit ambiguous. So just so I remember to fix that. Okay. Current chords. Can call them chords. That's fine as well. So we show spikes. Sounds a bit like yikes. Spikes. If the tile ID is equal to the tile of the spikes, and I don't know by heart the ID of the tile of the spike tile, but I can hover the editor and it will tell me. So it's tile 8. Perfect. Tile 8. So I got a message saying spikes. I think it was when it was yeah, I was like this, so that means not equal to 0. Oops. Okay. Right, so now we can place some spikes here, and when we walk over them, we should get the message. And we don't get it. God damn. What about if we... What I'm thinking is maybe player pose. Like, since the player pose is at the feet, is it like considering that it's below the player or something? Let's just log or track. Track means display on screen, basically. And I need to check this box so it shows. And now this one, not the last one, but the line before says tile ID 1. So, right, can we also maybe track the position in the coordinates? And I think, so let's only take the Y coordinates because we cannot print both. 18. And if I hover with the mouse, I can also see, so, okay, so we are officially in the cell below us, basically below ourselves. Ah, that's because of the gravity, which is pulling us down, and we didn't resolve the collisions yet. So I can just put that after this resolve of the collisions. Up. Okay, now it works. Okay, you can see here chords Y 17. And if I go on the spikes, I get the spikes message on screen. Great. Now, instead of putting a message on screen, we need to respawn or revert our position to the last position we were, the last valid position, basically. So what I'm thinking is we have a variable called grounded, I believe, player grounded. So we could just save the position, the position where we were last grounded. So every time we update the player grounded to be true, basically here, we remember our position. So after this, we do, if we are grounded, we remember. So player last safe position. And yeah, it should be, let's say safe, because it should not be like if we are in the spikes, we don't want to save, right? Something like this should be okay. All right. And so here we will just teleport player pause the last player last save pause. Let's be consistent. We call player pause, so we should write player last save pause. And here we go. That's a vector 2, right? Okay. That should be enough, I think. Yeah, it works. It feels like it's a solid barrier at this point, because we are just getting teleported back to the last position. So probably we should add kind of animation. But you can see that if I'm up there and I jump into the skies, I get teleported back, which is pretty good. Whoop. Boing. We should also nullify the velocity. Player vel vec200. We should, just for good measure, tongue distance should be 0. Right, that's already kind of enough, I think. Perhaps what we can do is add a small delay and some kind of animation. We could add an animation like in Mario, where the player just falls off the screen. Or we could freeze when we touch the spikes. Let's try that maybe. Like, but the problem is we are not quite touching the spikes at this point. Maybe we can actually add to this some kind of check, so that if we are in the upper half of the tile, by the way, isn't it two? Like, if the tiles are only one high, isn't it dying too early? Like, I guess I could to debug I could like not write, draw the like the position where we check the collision. Draw circle. Yeah, that would be easier. Player pose. Radius 1, color white or something, or red. Color red. Okay, maybe let's make the radius a little bigger. I don't know why. It's the same problem I had last time. I forgot that I should draw everything inside the off-screen path. Otherwise, it won't work. Oh, little collision glitch here. Okay, so our dot. Yeah, okay, I guess the frog is visually a little bit higher than in terms of collisions. That's why. Right. And so if we want to compensate for that, we could say if the tile ID is equal to 8 and the position in the tile, so player pose divided by do I have some kind of floor to int? So I guess if I take the floating point number minus the rounded down number, I get the fractional part, right? And if the fractional part, hold on, I need to that would be the fractional part of the position in terms of pixel, but I want to deal in tiles, so I need to divide by the tile width. That's a bit expensive, but not at all in I'm just doing this computation once, so that's completely fine. Once per frame. So I think that should give me the Y position in the tile. Y in tile. I think. Could debug it, track. And if Y in tile is higher than half the tile. So yeah, we are at 1. You can see here. 1. Okay, so now we are dying only when we hit half. Like when the red dot hits half of the tile here, like halfway. Perfect. Can make it 8. Perfect. Whoop. good enough for me. Now, I think we should try to design a part of the level. We already have the first screen. We drop down, we listen to the song of the frog here, we turn into a frog, we go back up, we jump up here, we do the platforming challenge, and then, oops, then here I think there is some kind of platforming to go up here, but you're supposed to fall. That's the platforming challenge. There are spikes here, so does it actually work in a... Oof. Let me make sure I didn't save those spikes in the sky. No. Okay. But I do have some spikes here that I want to erase. Save. Okay, so if I fall, no, that's what we want to avoid. I can still jump when I'm in the air. No, I guess it thought I was grounded, right? All right, this works fine. It's maybe a bit brutal, or a bit sudden, but it works. But it seems you can get into loops if you manage. If you are kind of unlucky, that's not great. We should probably also check that we are not in a wall when we save the safe position. Okay. I think what I can do, which is a bit of a hack, but I can just make the safe position safer by centering the player on its tile, right? So if I take the X position and I divide it by tile width once more, and I floor it, and then I multiply by tile width, and perhaps I add a half a tile before multiplying, so or after, doesn't matter, to be honest. I can do it after. One tile divided by 2, that should center the player. Center the player on grids to avoid finite loops or something. Right? So are we centered, first of all? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so yeah. Ooh, nice one. All right, I think that's sufficient. I'm happy with that. Hopla. So, little platforming challenge. Loop, loop, loop. It's pretty easy with the current settings, I think. And then, what then? Then we have this screen. It goes down like this. There is a little couple of stairs that go up. Let's see. It's a bit. Let's make the part that goes down. Oops. And then probably a bit about this. Maybe the gap is a bit bigger, so it's clear that you cannot jump over it much. Up. Okay, and then some stairs. A little bit chunky. Okay, not too bad, I think. And here we'll have to put a tree that will have to be burned. That hints at the geometry on the other side. Perhaps I can make that just a tiny bit wider. And then there is a kind of a well with an Easter egg here, a hint. Interesting, I didn't have much. It goes like this, okay. Whoops. Close enough. Whoops. On the grounds. Something like this. Something like this. Can already do this. Up. And here there is some platforming. Yeah, floating platform. Honestly, I wouldn't have to make it exactly the same. Like, I actually designed it in the first place, so nobody will be offended if I did it differently this time. But, I mean, at the same time, it doesn't really hurt. So, okay, so you jump here, here, here. So, I dislike this part because you have to, like, the screen shifts between two rooms mid-jump, which feels bad. So how can we fix that? So when you're here, don't have anywhere to jump to except here, but then it will shift between two screens, two rooms. I think it's kind of impossible to solve this problem, except like if we allow you to jump here. I have to try it. So it would be good if we could teleport. Oh, the red dot is offset, interesting. Would be good if we could teleport to any room. I think I will implement that real quick. Whoops. Huh, I was drawing while moving the... but not always. I guess when I go too fast, that's not good. Crap. Okay. Save. Save. And then teleport. We need the teleport functionality. I think if I press T in the editor, it should just teleport me where the mouse is. Editor navigation. We can just drop the cheat here. Why not? Cheat, teleport, cheat. If key just pressed key T, then player pose is equal to the position of the mouse, and I should be able to just get the position of the mouse like this. Mouse pose, and this is in screen space, and we want to transform it. Transform, and we should do that by default. Transform mouse. Okay, right. Easy peasy. It works only in the editor, but actually why make it exclusive to the editor? Perhaps we want it also like this, you know. So teleport here. Oh, that will be so nice to test the game. Okay, so we can jump here, up there. Ah, it's frustrating. You have to hold for a long while to charge. So here, I don't know where to jump. Yeah, I guess I could put a platform here because it's kind of implicit. If there is one here, there probably is one here, to be honest. And actually the platform should be just, yeah, perfect, just in between, so we know, up, yeah, I love that. So again some small collision bug. Up. This shouldn't be able to get there. Okay, there is quite a big gap. So how can we do that? Perhaps, yeah, I mean, can just move that whole room. That's where copy paste would be nice, but we can move that whole thing up a little bit. I think that's still, it's just right. Okay, if I charge to the max, I just barely don't make it. Well, let's make it even clearer. Hop. I love this little cheat. Okay. I'll just increase the charge time, decrease, sorry, charge. So here we increase, it was probably a pretty naive value, plus 3, times 3. Maybe not actually, it was maybe not that naive. I did some kind of math stuff here. Never mind. Okay, better. Maybe we can just move that a little closer to facilitate, to make this jump easier. All right, save. So what about adding the animal that is standing here, blocking the way? So actually, yeah, the beetle is here, and the shit ball is here. And if you change into the beetle, you can push the ball out of the way. But that implies that we implement the ball as well. And to implement the ball, we need kind of a system of entities that we can put in the level. And I actually recently implemented that for the global game jam for another game that I can show you. It's the global game jam game. Okay. I think I broke it just before the stream. Bummer. Could use a Git, but well, it's on my website as well. There's a blog post about the game jam, and one of the videos shows how to place stuff in the level. I guess I scrolled past too fast. That's the one. This video shows how you can, using the editor, like select stuff that you want to place in the level. You click, and then you can just paste them, stamp them in the level. Could implement something similar for the animals, I think. But maybe I can also start with a simpler version of that, where I basically hard code the positions of stuff, right? So I could say first of all, we need to bring in some assets from the original project. We need the shitball. It has some animation frames, it seems. So that we want, and also we want the dung beetle, this and this, right? We can put them here, and we also want the sounds. Let's take the sounds directly this time. Audio, what's effects? I don't know. Okay. Where chameleon? I guess it doesn't really have a sound. Yeah, maybe it doesn't have a sound. Never mind. So we need a dung beetle. Is that how you write it? Dung beetle and the shitball. Right. Let's copy the logic to import that stuff. Resource. Would be great if this was automatic, and one day it will be. One day it will be. Because like there is no real reason why it's like no real use to explicitly write it each time. So dung beetle. Perfect. And don't forget to change this. Dung beetle. I think we're good. Okay. So what did I fuck up? Maybe I forgot to load it or something. Forgot the shit. Ah. So we got the, I know what it is. I did the same mistake last time. We got out of bounds array access. Stack buffer overflow. Right. And it's this array that I forgot to populate. Should maybe use a switch instead of an array. Then I would get a warning. How many frames in the idle? Sorry, the middle. Oh my god. Okay, so we've got 3 animations, 3 frames of idle, 4 frames of walk, and 4 frames of push. So 3. Ciao. Dung beetle. And that should do it. Yeah. So you can see the idle is working. And then the run animation, how does it work again? Maybe I remember some kind of offsetting of the index to switch animations. That's it. But that's pretty, to be honest, that's pretty hacky. It doesn't even use this. So I guess we can actually use that. Frame counts. Yeah, that's not an array actually. Oh. Where's the bug? Ah, yeah. Oops. Okay. Still works. Still works. Doesn't work anymore. Incredible. Why? Why though? I changed something in animation and I get this bug. That's strange. Let me try. Why? So first off, let's check that it's really this. Like if I go back to 3, I still have the bug, so it's not this. Okay. Kind of reassures me. What did I do just before? I don't remember. Oh, interesting. Sorry for the sound. What about... No. So if we are falling, it's fine. But if we are on the ground, it doesn't work. For some reason. So, and I suppose that since it's just repeating the sounds of the tongue, it's hitting something right away. So maybe what can it be? What could it be? Honestly, I don't know. It worked before. What changed? Sorry for the sounds again. Any ideas? Chat. Any ideas? Of course, yeah, there's no one. I'm alone with my bugs. Sad. Let's see if we still have the debug coordinates. So we are testing in row 17. That was for the spikes. Here. We don't care about the spikes anymore. We want to check the tongue collision. Okay, perfect. So we can just reuse the exact same tracking. Except we are in a loop, so maybe it will track them many times. Yeah. How's the sound on OBS? No. You don't hear it. Ah, interesting. So all this time you didn't have sound. I forgot to switch my output. No, I should switch to black hole. And now? No. But no. Okay, I should switch to this one. Multi-output device. Multi-output device. And that should listen to black hole. So multi-output device. Yes. Right, that should work actually. I'm just I don't see any sound because I don't have the game open. Okay, so now I hear it on the wrong outputs, but that's fine. So you hear it in the stream now. And I guess okay, fixed. Okay, so the sound that was pretty be careful. So now you can see what the problem was. This guy is just triggering its tongue over and over again. Do not get it. No, it should be minus. I'm done. Why? 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 So I should read now the what's I should read this somewhere at 17, and that's correct. That's correct. Testing for grounds. Perhaps we should say, like, if tongue distance is bigger than 0, because I believe right now the tongue distance is at 0. No? Interesting. Where is... Oh boy. Why doesn't anything work? So this should... I'm logging, I'm not tracking. Okay. It's because I'm stupid, that's why. So we are at 0, okay. So why does it still... So we are at 0 at this point, but maybe not at this point, right? Indeed. So why... Do I reset the tongue distance where I shouldn't? That's fine, right? Uh-oh. When I'm grounded, I reset the tongue distance. Sounds very wrong. Actually, I think I broke much more than just the... Oh, no. Yeah, okay, the frog doesn't slide anymore. Okay. on the ground. Okay, so safe position. That still kind of works. And this should be fixed. Whew. Okay, finally. Sorry. Maybe if I press the other direction, it should interrupt the tongue thing. Like if I press left now, maybe it should stop. Could be an idea. Anyhow, right. So here we want the beetle thing. So what we were doing actually before was modifying the dung beetle, modifying the code that did animation. I think it's basically idle. This one. I wanted to use this here. So when we are running, we are showing the correct animation. Oops, sorry. Okay. So we are showing the correct animation, but we go one frame too far and then we do the wrong one. So this is the code that checks when we arrived at the end of the current anim. And if we are running the frame in question is frame 6, otherwise it's idle frame count. And actually it should be idle frame count plus running frame count. And this we introduce a new variable here. By default it will be 3. 3 plus 3 is 6, so that checks out. And for the dung beetle, well, actually it's also 3. So I'm kind of confused. That shouldn't change anything, basically. Right, we are offset based, so actually no. We shouldn't add them up, we should just go for running frame count. And if it was 6 before, was it 6 before? Yes. Then by default the second value should be 6. And for the dung beetle it will be 3. Now we got a correct run cycle, which has only 3 frames it seems. And for the... oh god. So for the kid, same thing, same deal. For the frog, it doesn't care about running. The chameleon doesn't care about running either. and this guy. Nice. So now let's make it move, actually. Move. If we are not the chameleon, we update the facing direction. If we are the kid, or we are the dung beetle, then we move. Great. Maybe it's a bit fast. By the way, shouldn't we modify, not modify, multiply by delta time? Yes, we should, definitely. I'm glad I caught that. If we are the dung beetle, maybe something like this, we can be much slower. Speed. And actually, when we push something, we should be even slower. That's to be added. Up. Fast. Kind of slow. Right. Okay. Now let's put a sheet ball right here. How do we do that? That's the question. Do we manage an array of entities that we somehow save or hardcode? Or do we just wing it? I think we'll wing it. Spoilers. We just need the game state and playing song, player name. Let's go here. Entities. Oops, sorry. Struct. Cheat ball. It's not very classy, but you know, it's okay. Data will be the position, I suppose. And maybe so probably we want 2 sheet balls at some point. But we'll start with 1. To also have a frame index like the player. Perhaps it could be an like that's a sign that it could be the same kind of struct basically. Okay. Now, what I want to know is what coordinates are we close to? 96, 74. Okay, so when we reset the game state, we want to place the sheet ball at coordinates 96, 74 approximately, and we want to multiply that by the tile width because those are pixel coordinates. Sheet ball position. Perfect. And now we need to draw Shimbo. We go to the drawing code, which is here, draw tongue, draw. Okay. That's drawing the character, the tongue. Probably we should be below the player, I would say. Draw image. The handle will be res. The rectangle will be the position, aligned rect, rect. It's the other way around. Position alignment will be 0.5, 1, and size, crucially, my god, I'm pretty tired. I apologize for my pronunciation. 72 by 24. Okay, so it will be 24 by 24. See, I forgot again the semicolon. Don't know what's up with me. Color. I didn't remember I had a color parameter for the sprite, the image. Okay. Okay, I was expecting to see something here. Very disappointed. Oh, now it's here. Interesting. I don't know why. Because I hard-coded the position of the shitball in reset, but I didn't reset the game previously. Okay, fair enough. We have the shitball here. In-game it looks like that, because the sampling is like here we are rendering the upstream buffer, which has a lower resolution, but here we show the stretched art. In any case, it shouldn't be stretched, so we need... Hold on, we need to pass some UV rect, right? So draw image UVs, color UVs, perfect. Rect, 0, 0, 1 divided by 4 because there are 4 frames, or 3, and 1. Makes more sense like this. Great. Now it's a bit high up, so 74. In reset we got the hard-coded position. Where is it? That's not the correct one. I'm looking for this one. 74. Interesting. Okay, let's not care. Oh, reset. Okay. Is it about my alignments here? Should it be 0 actually? Oh, disappears. Is it like? Oh, yeah. So no, it shouldn't be 0. 1 was correct. Alrighty. Alrighty. So now we need some collision to this bad boy. How do we add collision to an entity like this? It's kind of a lot of work. And at the same time it's not that hard. basically what I need to do is first of all calculate. So I need to go where I calculated the collisions. Here. So basically that's the clamping of the positions of the player depending on where tiles are nearby. So if there are tiles to the right, I will clamp the X position to the left side of the tile. So I need to do the same for the ball. If you imagine a rectangle around the ball, I should detect any overlap and then clamp the position of the player. That should be easy enough. So, sheet ball collisions. For now we have only one, so we can just go. Oops, sorry. Sheet ball. Pause. So first of all, we should compute a rectangle. I will call it R to be terse. We got a position, aligned, rect. So we can just copy paste this part of the code. I think that's okay. It's not great to copy paste, but that for now it's okay. Rect border. Red. Oops. Color red. So I'm just drawing a red border around. Oh crap. So I cannot draw the red border because it's I'm in the off-screen buffer, so everything is offset. The border is probably not showing. I could do it next to the sheet ball. That's kind of an annoying problem that I don't know how to solve right now, quite yet. So okay, so you can see the border, the rectangle is computed properly. Now we need to just check the physics, the collisions, sheet ball collisions. So basically, if the player and the sheet ball overlap, we need to change the limit. I think that's it. So we have one limit per side, like one limit on the left, on the right, on the top, on the bottom, and then we clamp using those limits. And so we can alter the limit. For example, if I take the left side of the sheet ball and I set the X min limit to the left side of the sheet ball, which is the rectangle X coordinates, then I won't be able, okay, I messed it up, it's the max actually, then I won't be able to go past the sheet ball left side. And remember, the collision of the player is just a point at the center of the feet for now. So now the sheet ball is blocking us, which is what we want. Problem is, it's blocking us at any height, right? So there is kind of an invisible wall. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what did I do? Ah, I'm stupid. I just overrode the left limit, but I should use a minimum function, so it takes whatever is the most to the left. Uh-oh. So now I'm blocked by the tiles again. And if I try to go past the ball... Okay, did I mess up also this? I don't know why it changed visually. It's not expected. That's so strange. Ah, now it works again. Okay, I have some weirdness going on. Okay, let's make a small staircase. Okay. Let's turn into a frog. Now we can see hitting an invisible wall on the left of the ball, but it extends to infinity, basically, up and down, because we are not testing anything on the y-axis, only x-axis. So we need to also test the x-axis. What we can do is, if the player position in the y-axis is lower than... So basically I want to check, are we in this region, like in the y-axis, are we overlapping with the ball, basically. So overlapping means our y position is bigger than the top of the ball, since y goes down in my engine. So like this. And at the same time we are the player is, that means below the top and above the bottom. Right, like this. Up. And now, okay, perfect. So remember, the origin is also at the center of the frog. So that's why we are partly overlapping the ball. But now we can go above the ball and also below the ball. So if we do this, we should be... wait, I'm not quite able to. What is going on? Okay, when we get here, we get teleported here because I forgot to check if we are past the ball. I just checked the left side. So when we are in this zone, we get teleported here, basically. I think that's it. Like, boop. So what I should do then, so y overlap y, and we can do overlap x as well. Just replace, okay, overlap y, and then if we are on the left of the ball, we want to test this limit. If we are on the right, we want to test this limit. So player, kind of a weird way to do it, I'll give you that, that's for sure. So ball, chip ball, position x. And to be honest, I should, like, for the global game jam, I made a much better system that had very robust collisions detection. I should port this one, but I wanted to do it from scratch. Interesting. Now we are standing on top of the thing. Not sure why. I forgot to... sorry, I'm getting very sleepy. So instead of x max, that's when we are on the left side, we tweak the max limit, so we cannot go past a certain invisible wall. When we are on the right side, we cannot go past a certain invisible wall in the negative direction, so it would be the minimum limit, so x min, sorry. And then we want the maximum value of the right side of the rectangle, or what we had previously as a limit. So I'm not articulating the best, but in the best way, but yeah. So right now, up. If you're on the top, you get teleported to the right or left, which is honestly okay. But what we could do is just duplicate this code on the other axis, and then switch it up. That becomes y, 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 and y. I think I got them all, and now we should be able to stand. It seems it doesn't work, but it's very chaotic. Interesting, but wrong. Let me try something silly. So why can't we just stand on top of the... Is it just a matter of my skills? Or is it a matter of buggy codes? Yes. So let's try with the kids. So here we are blocked. I guess that's kind of expected. So I teleport there. So we cannot really stand on top of it. Which, to be honest, I don't get why we can't. What if we comment out this? I think that should work. That was silly. Right, now we can stand on it. But also now there is no horizontal collision at all. We even get into the ground for some reason. That's fun. Whoop. Alright, so let's actually try to make progress there. If I uncommand this. Interesting. I guess I could just I guess I kind of forgot, like the limits are calculated with some margin in mind. So I think I should also add this margin for floating point reasons, floating point precision reasons. So if I'm checking the max margin, I should the maximum limit, so the limit on the right, I should subtract some margin to the actual. Is that correct? I think it is. Subtract. Here I should add. And then same here. Subtract. Add. Maybe that magically solves it, but no. I was hoping. Just in case, I'll swap it. Minus, plus. It's fun, but it's not correct, right? Well, there is a thing actually. I'm doing that after moving, which is kind of not what I should do, I think. I think if I do it here, and I actually put the correct. So that's the limit on the right. So it's true that I should subtract the margin. But it was correct, I think. Right, now it works. Okay, so the problem was I was moving, then applying the, like, those variables were computed after the move, so I was overlapping in both axes, even if I was pushed by the border of the ball. Yeah, it's kind of tricky to explain. I should maybe try to explain better when I do lives. But not today, I'm too tired, sorry. Okay. Now it's properly blocking. I think we can, okay. So I think we can implement the pushing even. Like if we transform into a beetle and we go against it and we start to push it, then it should move. The animation should also switch. We can do that later. It should move toward wherever we are pushing. Right. Now I'm just thinking of how to detect which. If we hit the tile map or the sheet ball, I think the easiest would be. Let me think. I think if we kind of trigger this or this, we should remember that we are pushing against a sheet ball and then move that sheet ball if we happen to actually push it. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I think that's one way to do it at least. So I could transform this code into if. That would be the new value. I think I did something similar for the jump. New xmax. Or just new New is not a keyword in C. Yeah. New. If new is smaller than xmax, then we override xmax with new. And we somehow say that we hit. Maybe we can use the editor message again. Editor message show hit. Okay, so it doesn't work in this. Oh, it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. Oh yeah. So that's good because it means on our right there is a sheet wall. If we put a tile, it should go away. It doesn't. Really? Oh yeah, it does. I don't know why. Maybe the actual... That's so weird. Here it should go away because the tiles are blocking before itself, if that makes any sense. What size is this margin? Very small, good. So why doesn't it disappear at these points? Voila. Come on, please. It kind of works, but it doesn't work. So it's not exactly correct. So it kind of sucks in a way. Anyway. Let's set this variable to true if there is a sheet ball on the right. True. And if, so in the clamping logic here, if we are going to the right and we are indeed clamping and there is a sheet ball to our right, then we should move that sheet ball, right? So sheet ball pose x plus equal, and then somehow we need to decide how much we want to push. Let's say 60 pixels per second. Yes, great. So now it kind of works. It's a bit jittery, that's normal because we push it, but also collide with it, right? It's a classic problem. Oops. Teleport. Pushing. But it's okay, it's not horrible. We could decide to make it slow. That looks more stable actually, interestingly. Good. Then I can just do the same to the other side. To the right, to the left. Okay. This is a little bit of work. Extract this. Replace if new is bigger than max. Then max becomes new. And oops. And sheet ball to the left. The good news is we don't have to do it for top and bottom. That's cool. Right, and then we patch this one. So when we clamp the position of the player to take into account the collisions, if there is a shitball on the left, we move the shitball. Hard-coded physics for the win. And now we need to get in the small space here. And we should be able to push, and we are not able to push. So what did I miss? That looks fine. Falls through. I think that's correct. I think that's... hold on. Whoops. I modified the wrong location. Yeah. So that was previously correct. So I think it was y max equal min, then this, then this. That was totally fine. That's the collision in the vertical axis, so I don't have touched that. I'm only interested in the horizontal axis, so I should have done my change here. I think that's the new thing. If new is bigger this time than xmin, xmin becomes new. Right. And shitball to the left becomes true. And we are able to push it. Perfect. And if we teleport here, we push it this way. And if we teleport to the top, we stand on it. Fall, push. Not too bad. Yes. Yes. I'm tired, but it works. I made it work. That's good. I think I'm going to stop pretty soon. But maybe it would be nice if the animation was switched to the pushing animation so that it looks like it's rolling the shitball. And that should be pretty easy to do. I just go to the anim section, player anim, and look, I can show you the dung beetle spreadsheet. It has 4 frames at the end. It's small. 4 frames at the end that where the dung beetle is flipped and is pushing with the back legs. Oh, interesting. So we have 3 frames for the idle and 4 frames for the walk cycle, and I think I only used 3, so I can put 4 here, and then we have again 4 frames for the push animation. And I think if I just offset everything by 4, I should switch to the push animation. Let's see. Yeah. So what I can do is... 1 second. Toujours. Ah, ok. Tu refermes derrière, comme ça...
Ok. Donc avec la clé, on va...
Ouais.
Et là, le canet
Ah.
Bien
sûr. Tout à l'heure. Okay. Alright, so... Oops. We need to offset only if we are pushing, right? and if we are the dung beetle. Mode, character mode, dung beetle. If we are the dung beetle, we offset, and if we are pushing, so and I think we should still have the pushing thing on hand, like the shit ball to the left or right. But actually we need to know if we are actually pushing, so that's this basically. Shit ball pushing crew. And shit ball pushing can be defined here. By default it's set false. False. Almost done. I can do it. Okay, so this is assigned but not used. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, it looks like a mess, but workable. Right, we were here, okay. No, we were here, yes. Shit ball to the left, instead we use shit ball pushing. I think that should be sufficient. Right, yeah, so we move and turn around and push the ball. And if we go into game modes, it will be better filtered. Looks kind of slightly strange. And the very last thing I want to do is make the ball rotate. So, and I think that should be easy enough as well. We just increment the anim frame index of the shit ball when we push it. And I guess we need also, like instead of a frame index, we could store just anim progress or something. Yes. Because my thinking is I want to implement that each frame. Yeah, see, for the player had a delay. I guess it fills in, and when it hits a certain point, it increments the frame. For this one, I think I will just increment a float value and round it for the frame index. So how to increment it? I guess if we are pushing, after this we can just it's very messy. Anim update. We can do it as well where we do the animation of the character. So here, around here, if we are pushing the shit ball, we also increment its value. Shit ball and in progress plus equal delta time. Perfect. And then the last thing is to modify the visuals. And the visuals are easy. We have, I think, 3 frames. I don't know how it looks like. It seems kind of not finished. Maybe I should finish it. But let's try with 3 frames already. So here, 1 divided by 3. So that's the UVs. We modify the X coordinates, frame index. Okay. So trust me, this will just display the correct frame, right? So if I put 0, there is one particular frame. If I put 1, it should switch to another. I just switch. That's good. And so what we can do is sheet ball, what? ID index type, that's not, wrong variable, my bad. And in progress, it was the sprite or the image. Then this, I just need to round to floor to an integer. And if I were to do it like this, it will switch every second. So I want to speed it up. So I will do times at least 10. And then I need to loop it. So if it goes over 3, it should go back to 1. And I can do that with a modulo 3. Let's see. Okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't say it's very convincing, but it's interesting. So maybe I should make it much slower. Yeah, it gives the feeling that it's moving. Yeah, it's good enough. And maybe it should also I could increment or decrement depending on the direction of travel, if you know what I mean. So I guess sheet ball to the, if the sheet ball is to the right, it looked kind of correct, and otherwise it should decrement, I think. Yeah, I don't know if it's... I don't know if it's any bit better, to be honest. I should probably redo the animation anyway. Okay, but I think that will be it for today. I'll see if I can do... So just maybe thinking ahead for the next time what I will do. So we have this little puzzle with the sheet ball. There will be one here as well, so I need to support multiple, which shouldn't be too hard. They don't interact or anything, so that's fine. And I think there is only one more animal that I need to do, the dragon, that burns down wooden things. And then I'll be done. Then I'll be able to make all the levels and test the game. Of course, the actual animals need to appear, so I think I'll take an approach similar to the sheet balls, hardcode their position. But yeah, thank you for watching.